So under the JavaScript data types, we have a JavaScript string. And what is a string? A string or a text string is a series of characters. For example, look at a name that is enclosed inside a double quote. Now, something that is very important about a string is that it can either use a single or double quote. Anything you see with quotes in JavaScript is a string because strings are written with quotes. So that is the difference and things that are peculiar to using a string in JavaScript. So let's take a look at some of the example of how string can be used in the JavaScript programming language. Strings are written with quotes. So now, let's say I have a variable and I call it car name 1. Let me give it a value of this on the 2022. I think on that's variant. Yeah, so let me see on the CVP here. 2026. Actually, I don't know if there's any car like this. Let car name 2 equals to Toyota Corolla 2025. Now document.get element by IP. Equals car name 1 plus break. So I'm adding a break because I want it to be on another line. Now, look at my screen. You can see that now I have under Civic 2026 and Toyota Corolla 2025. Now, take a look at something that I'm about to show you. If I remove this quote, let's see what will happen. Now, you can see that even from assigning that value, there's already a rest quickly line under the Civic 2026. And let me highlight it and see what the error is. You can see a numeric literal value used in a string concatenation to form car names. Now, that is because I'm on numbers. Now, if I'm here, hold a string constant representing a car model usage example. Now, if at any point in time, even if it is just something like this, now, even with this, you will see that it's not giving me any output. And if I try to inspect, let's see if there's going to be any error. You can see this occult reference error under is not defined. That is because the way I just put it, JavaScript does not even understand what to do with it. That's why it's returning an undefined value. So always enclose your string in either a single or double quote. But now, by the time I append code to this, just watch. Now, appending code to it, you can see the value is now back under Civic 2026. So as long as it is either inside a single or double quote, JavaScript will treat all the values inside that quote as string. And that is why it does not matter whether there's a number that's specified in the year of the car or there's nothing like number there. So it will treat everything inside that single or double quote as a string. And you can see here that here I'm using a single quote and here I can change the second one to double quote, and you will see that nothing will change. Everything will still work. And always ensure that what you start with is what you end with. So you cannot start with a single quote and at the end put a double quote like this. You can see there's already an error. So the starting quote must match the one at the end as well. So moving on, let's look at JavaScript numbers. All JavaScript numbers are stored as decimal number or without decimal, stored as decimal number, floating point. Numbers can be written with or without decimal. So when you store numbers in JavaScript, JavaScript understand number to store them as decimal number, floating points, which means that numbers are not stored as integer like the way we have in traditional mathematics that you have 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. In JavaScript, those numbers are stored as floating point. They are stored as decimal number, and they can be written with or without decimal, which means that even if you give an absolute value or an integer, JavaScript will still process it because it understands what you are trying to do. So let's take a look at this, some of the examples of how this works in JavaScript. So numbers can be written with or without decimals. Now let's quickly take a look at this. So let's say I have a variable, I call this x1, and I give it a value of 34.00. I have another one, let x2 equals 34. And I have another one, let x2 equals 3.14. Now, if I try to get this out, now you can see this, I have 34, 3.1. So JavaScript ignores this double zero at the back of this first one. It treats this as a number without decimal and this one as a number with decimal. So you can see that any type of each of these number that you give JavaScript understand how to pass it. It's understood how to interpret it into whatever meaning you want it to have. So that is how numbers work in JavaScript. Then quickly, let's take a look at exponential notation. Extra large or extra small number can be written with scientific exponential notation. So when you have large number, you can write them using the exponential notation. For example, let's say we want to have something like this. Equals to 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, see this number here. In JavaScript, you can simply write this as like this, using the exponential notation E5. And you can see that it gives the same output. So what this E means is 10 raised to power of the number. So which means that 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. That is what this exponentiation simply means. So you can as well have this. And you can see if you want it in a reverse order. So you can just use a minus as part of the exponentiation notation. So this is how numbers work as one of the data types in JavaScript.